Right now, men make up nearly 80% of all suicides in the US. Think about that for a second, man. 8 out of 10. And loneliness is more common than ever. It's skyrocketing by the day. 15% of men today admit to having no close friends at all in their life, which is 5 times more than just 30 years ago. And maybe right now you feel, isolated. Maybe you feel this way, man. You're feeling empty, stuck, depressed. You're chasing distractions, doom scrolling endlessly on TikTok, Instagram, hooked on porn, video games, partying on the weekends, basically living for the weekends, just desperately avoiding yourself because you don't know what else to do with your time. And the only thing you can think of is just distract yourself, numb yourself. But I need you to listen to me really closely, bro. This season of solitude right now that you're in, if you're single, isn't your enemy. It's your greatest opportunity. Let me tell you why. I know exactly what you're going through right now. Maybe I'm not in your shoes. I've been there. I've been in low places. I've hit rock bottom many times. And I used to party nonstop every single weekend, heavy drinking, drugs, chasing meaningless hookups with women, video games for hours, anything to numb the emptiness I was feeling. And on the surface, it looked like I had it all together. I was shredded, working as a fitness model, personal trainer. I was surrounded by people every weekend. And constantly I was around people just for work. But inside, man, I was dying. I was empty. No amount of partying or pleasure could fix the void I felt every time I was alone. Every night before bed, I would watch porn and I would throw my phone on the bed immediately, just feeling ashamed. And eventually, I hit rock bottom. And it forced me to face reality. I was completely alone, surrounded by people who didn't really know me, didn't really know what I was going through. And I sat with myself. And that loneliness became my wake-up call. A wake-up call that I desperately needed. So today I'm going to help you understand why so many men are silently struggling with loneliness. And I'm going to give you some actionable things that you can do right now to completely turn your life around. So by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to escape the loneliness trap. You'll know how to build real confidence and finally become the man you're meant to be. But before we dive in, if you're new here, this is The Ascended Man. I'm Brian. I served in combat with the U.S. Marines at the age of 20. I was a certified personal trainer for over a decade, and I've also coached tons of men to peak performance. I've also coached women as well. And now my mission is to help you forge strength, elevate your spirit, and lead with purpose. So let's dive into it. My first point is that victimhood won't serve you. Yeah. So the issue is when you feel lonely, it's easy to fall into this victimhood mindset, right? Blaming the world or blaming your ex or family or anything and anyone but yourself. This happens because taking responsibility feels painful. It means you're admitting your situation is your fault. And that means you have to really sit with yourself and be honest with yourself. And you have to dive deep. But the solution is you just have to shift your mindset from victimhood to taking extreme ownership of your life. Everything changes when you realize your life is completely your responsibility. and no one else, regardless of the lack of support you have or your personal circumstance. Okay? Dude, I spent years blaming circumstances, blaming others, and holding up resentment and feeling bitter about where I was in life. But the moment I decided to own everything, the good, the bad, the pain, all the ugly, as soon as I started to own that, my life started improving instantly. So, real quick, if you're connecting with this, I want you to drop a message so far. Drop a quick comment below. Let me know which part resonates most with you. I read and reply to every single comment, and it genuinely helps me understand what you're going through right now so I can keep making videos that truly help you out. All right, so let's keep moving. My second point is you need to learn how to be alone, at least for a season. Maybe it's 6 months, maybe it's a year, maybe longer. The problem is most men, they run from solitude, drowning it out with things like porn, video games, alcohol, and then just video games, mindlessly scrolling. This happens because facing yourself is uncomfortable. It's easier to distract yourself than confront deeper emotional wounds. So I encourage you to lean into solitude. Stop running away. Use this time alone to build discipline, build strength, and self-awareness for yourself. Dude, I used to spend nights just scrolling Instagram, hooked on porn, glued to Netflix, sucked into Call of Duty for hours, desperate to avoid my own thoughts, and not actually dealing with the things that needed to be dealt with. Basically, avoiding the darkness and avoiding responsibility. But when I stopped running, when I just forced myself to face who I really was and everything I was going through, everything shifted. Loneliness wasn't my enemy. It was my greatest teacher. And that's what you need to come to. Right? My third point is your vibration that you're in right now attracts people into your life, no matter if it's a good vibe or if it's a bad vibe. The issue is you're allowing toxic, low-quality relationships into your life because you fear being alone. I want you to think about that. And this happens because you operate from scarcity and you're settling instead of striving for higher standards in your life. And you're afraid to be alone, man. But you have to raise your standards by becoming the kind of man who naturally attracts high quality people, right? Your vibe attracts your tribe. Invest in yourself and do not settle. I mean, God, I spent years filling my life with people who drained my energy and drained my ambition and tried to put my fire out. People who are toxic, drama, pessimistic mindsets. When I finally decided to level up myself, I realized that these people had to go. Like people who were just partying all the time hit me up and asked if I wanted to go out. I used to go to like raves every single weekend, do drugs every weekend. And I also had people in my life who I felt like their energy was just bringing me down. They were an energy vampire. But then when I decided that I needed to be more disciplined, start reading more, learning, growing spiritually, I started attracting driven, ambitious, high-quality guys without even trying. So here's the message you need to internalize. Drop the victim mentality right now. Take extreme ownership of your life. Okay? And stop running from solitude. In solitude, you'll find all the answers. That's where you can hear that inner voice. That's where you can get clarity on your life, man. And really embrace solitude as an opportunity for growth. See it as a gift. Raise your standards in your life. The people that you're around, the women that you're with, the guys. And that will truly start to attract the right guys into your life, the right girls. As far as guys go, that's how you form your tribe. And it can take time. I mean, dude, there was a period of time where it's about 6 years ago, and I was working an overnight job, a security job, from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. And I had like two friends in my life at the time. One of them was not wanting to grow. I was sharing ideas with him, and we had actually been best friends for like 6 years, not longer, probably like 7 or 8. And he just didn't want to grow with me, man. He was talking negative. He had a pessimistic mindset. He was unhappy with at least half of his life, his relationships. And I shared my ideas with him, and he just shot them down and said things like, you're changing. And it really hurt me. And I had to cut that relationship out. And I realized that relationship had an expiration date. And a lot of relationships in our lives do. Because if someone's not supporting your growth and adding value to your life, they don't need to be a part of it. And so for over a year, my sister was the only person who was actually really my friend. And I was late 20s at the time. And it was a little over a year that I actually made my first new friend in this new phase, this new season of my life. And then from there, you just start attracting people into your life one by one. And then eventually I reconnected with a friend from middle school, and he's now my best friend. But it's slow, man. But understand that, like, if you're alone right now, it's not going to be for forever. You don't have to have a doomer mindset. Just focus on improving yourself and learning to be comfortable being alone. And just imagine your life a year from now. Imagine waking up confident, proud, knowing who you are, and surrounded by high quality people who genuinely care about you, man. Imagine no longer feeling empty, no longer chasing distractions. Imagine becoming the powerful, driven, purposeful man you were always meant to be. That really is waiting on the other side of your decision today, man. Solitude is not loneliness. It's the gift of self-discovery. The strongest men aren't forged in crowds. They're built in silence, where they face themselves and they face the darkness, where they find themselves in the darkness and then rise to their true power. So, got some books for you guys I want you to check out. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Absolute must. I've worn this book out. Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink. He was a Navy SEAL. The Way of a Superior Man by David Deida. Incredible book. And I love Lewis Howes. Maybe someday I can meet him. Maybe someday God will bless me with the opportunity. The Greatness Mindset. Unlock the power of your mind and live your best life today. He's absolutely incredible. And I have no affiliations with these guys, man. These books have been so inspiring for me. And I could literally give you like 10 books, but these are 4 right here. Keep it simple, all right? So anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. If this hit home for you, man, subscribe. Join our growing community of ambitious men who refuse to settle, men who are constantly upgrading, constantly ascending. This journey is just the beginning. We're just getting started, boys. So let's build something incredible together. Catch you later.